stabbing that happened at a high school track meet. Um, yes, it was. It's so sad. Okay, so it was actually really sad. I caught it. You can see it on Nancy Grace. That's where I first saw it at. Um, um, she does have a couple of people from San Antonio, or actually, she has one lady from San Antonio, discussing the matter. My way right now. I was doing some stuff before getting on here. Um, yeah, it was very sad. Unfortunately, the victim, the victim passed, pretty much at the scene right away. In his, he was a identity. It's very sad. My heart goes out to the family and especially to his brother. I can only imagine the normal brother and sisters, and I can imagine pain he can. I know it's not the same. They have like some type of special connection that nobody just seems to understand. I mean, some people do. We all know that they do have special connections, but it's still kind of a mystery how one can, like, they're almost one person. So anywho, the victim's name was Austin Metcalf. He was a bright student. From my understanding, I think he had a 4.0 average at the time. Very well mannered. He was an all around person, good at school, good at sports. Um, as far as the suspect, Carmelo Anthony is his name, and unfortunately, I'm not sure what his background is, like whether he was obviously he had to have decent grades in order to participate in extracurricular student. Um, I don't know his whole background, whether he was an excellent student, great student. He obviously um did well enough in school to participate in the extracurricular activities provided by the school. At the same time, there there's there's so much to. I mean, there's very little to the story, but so much to the story at the same time. It's very there's not really much out. I know the father really wanted the and unfortunately they did, and it's so sad because not only are y'all just causing more pain to the family and victims, you're just go ahead. I mean, I'm not saying not to tell the story and pass on the story. Go ahead, tell the story, do but just try to stick to the facts and the police reports and as much factual information as you can. And I get it. We all have our opinions and things like that, and the what ifs and what if that happened, and what if he did this, and what if they were friends, what if they did know each other, what if they maybe what if it was a race thing, what if it is, and I wouldn't think too much into it. It was a track meet. You very you do know other kids from other schools, especially like especially in high school. Like, you've obviously gone to middle school with most of these people, but you gotta understand when you go into like as you go into elementary, 3 or 4 elementary schools feed into a middle school, 3 or 4 middle schools feed into a high school. So you may not have gone to elementary with school with them, but you can possibly end up in a high school with them. So, not to say, unfortunately, the dad already confirmed that they didn't know each other. So we'll just go with that. The dad confirmed that the suspect and the victim didn't know each other prior to the altercation. But who's to say? You know what I mean? Like, that didn't mean like I was a very athletic. If you're an athletic, we either played you against high school, or you went to the same, same high school as I did, but that didn't mean I didn't know who you were. You know what I mean? So, but you didn't know. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh yeah, I think she tried out one year. I'm like, oh, and next thing you know, she's in high school. You're playing against each other, and I'm like, I don't, you don't know everybody just because you might have played with them in people do go away. But in this instance, the dad did confirm that the victim, Austin Metcalf, and the suspect, Carmelo Anthony, did not know each other, and it wasn't a race thing. So please respect the family. And I get it, we all have opinions, but try to be a little more factual with your opinions. Make opinions based on facts, not your like, I don't know. So anyway, we are gonna go and look at a couple of these. I want to listen to this. I haven't really listened to a lot of these. Like I said, I saw it on Nancy Grace. I was able to get some information from it, and no, I wanted to kind of spread the word and just have everybody just be careful with their student athletes when they are out. Just because, even I was telling my dad, I was like, "Geez, we can't even go to a high school track meet without something happening now." Like this used to be high school events used to be one of the not one of the safest, but I mean, very rare things usually happen unless it was a kid on kid thing. Like adults, usually there's really nothing, between adults, and very rare. There's really no alcohol there, so there's no really altercations or anything like that. So, um, things like this really don't happen. And Frisco track meet stabbing, Carmelo Anthony's lawyers are also seeking lower for I think murder or something like that, or something. Like I said, I haven't really looked into it. We're gonna read it together. We're gonna find out as much information as we can together, and go from there. So let's go ahead, and I think I already did. I start sharing the screen. Let me share the screen again. Oh, I gotta do that. Show on screen. We'll do it like that. Okay. Let's take this off of mute.
A new details on a tragedy at a high school track meet in Texas after police say one athlete allegedly stabbed another during a weather delay. NewsNation's Rich McHugh joins us live. So, Rich, what led up to this alleged attack is still unclear.
That's exactly right, Nicole. It's a heartbreaking story. Two teens get into an altercation, and one is now the accused as an online fundraiser for him and his legal defense that has raised over 200. Austin
I hate when they take photos.
Anthony, he needs to move out from under the team's tent when Anthony
At a high school track meet in Texas after police say one athlete allegedly stabbed another during a weather delay. News Nation's Rich McHugh joins us live. So, Rich, what?
So anything on news websites, they take forever to load. They would already had it waiting. I think it should have been ready.
Led up to this alleged attack is still unclear.
Okay, whatever. Okay, Texas teen charged after track meeting stabbing. The two teens got into an altercation at a track meet. Austin Metcalf died in the arms of his twin brother, and there is a debate over whether it was self-defense. So the suspect, right away when this happened and the police showed up on scene, he asked them if this can be considered self-defense. He did kind of like the basis of it. I'll let this run in the background and um, maybe you'll. But anyway, from my understanding, what happened, it was raining that day. The trackers were in the stands waiting for the rain to kind of slow down. Everybody had like every school had their own little pop-up tents, so that way they wouldn't get wet. Um, so Jeff, the gist of it was that I shouldn't say the wrong tent. I don't know if he was purposely sitting there or what. Um, he he was sitting under the another team's tent, and the victim, Austin Metcalf, asked, told him like, hey, kind of like told him, hey, yo, bro, you're in the wrong area. You need to leave, kind of thing. I guess words were exchanged, and Carmelo sticks his hand in his bag and says, "Touch me and see what happens." And I guess, you know, also didn't think he was serious. Kind of like when people bring. This is kind of like how I explain. You know how when you go to a restaurant and the waitress brings you a plate and they're like, "Be careful, don't touch it, it's hot," kind of thing. And then about 98% of the time, someone's going to touch the plate to see if it's really hot, even though they just told you it was hot. It's like, oh, yeah, the plate's hot, duh. But I'm just guessing, in my opinion, from the little bit that I'm, I'm just going to say that, like, Austin maybe pushed him a little bit, like kind of shoved him and like kind of took his challenge on basically. And as soon as Austin did that, Carmelo Anthony pulled the knife out of the bag and stabbed him in the chest. And right away he ran off. Austin's brother turned around and caught him, and Austin, a few moments later, died in his brother's arms. Police came and they searched the grounds. They found the knife thrown in the bleachers, and they finally found the suspect, Carmelo Anthony. And pretty much the first words out of his mouth was, "He touched me first. Would this be considered self defense kind of thing?" Um, but you know, we'll see. So they took Carmelo Anthony away. They basically, cuffed him, charged him, and now he's away. So Oh, now that it played through all the way, now it doesn't want to come back. Oh, that sucks. Okay, like that made no sense. Refresh. So, um, and it's funny how when I wasn't playing it, it was actually ran all the way through. I don't know why they automatically go on to the next one. I hate and it's the people who make the website. It's like no, put it on repeat. Let the person don't force somebody to like. What if they wanted to go back like this and rewind it a minute long? Like, give them a chance. People get the article. It says new T. Actually, yeah, new. This is on April 9th. I believe this happened on April 2nd or April 3rd. New details have emerged after one Texas athlete allegedly stabbed another, seeing in his death. So who was to know if it wasn't for the weather, this would have happened. But you know, the Frisco Independent School District confirmed that the interaction happened during a meet between 8 other high schools within the district on April 6th. The principal of Memorial High School had identified the teen who died as 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Now there are debates over whether the stabbing was self-defense or murder. Texas teen alleged Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, who is also 17, were at a track meet when Metcalf told Anthony he needed to get out from underneath the team's tents. Anthony reportedly reached into his bag and said, "Touch me and see what happens." The police report states that Metcalf then grabbed Anthony and told him to move. Anthony allegedly pulled out a knife, stabbed Metcalf once in the chest arms. Megan Metcalf, Austin's mother, told the local ABC station WFAA, "My son is not here anymore, and I don't understand it. He was a leader of men, voted team MVP this season, and carried 4.0 GPA. We will all remember him for the way he impacted others' lives. I love you forever, son. It's not goodbye, it's see you later." The teen arrested, charged with murder. Anthony was arrested and charged with Metcalf's murder. He allegedly told police, "I was protecting myself," and said he put his hands on me. "I told him not to consider self-defense." According to the Associated Press, a spokesperson with the police department said Anthony was to the Collin County Jail. Reported that Anthony's bond has been to the court records and his lawyer, Billy Clark. "We are pursuing the USA Today. The teen's family facing threats, harassment, and reports." According to WFAA, Anthony's family has received Dominic Alexander, founder of the Next Generation Action Network, told WFAA that the family's address had been leaked online. This allegedly led to many graphic and racist threats. The disinformation that is going online is hurting this case, and it has to stop. As we know right now, Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony did not know each other, Alexander said. Carmelo Anthony has a right to a fair trial, unbiased and removed of. Texas FBI is investigating after fake posts claiming to come from medical examiners. So this is what the dad was talking about. Like, don't make the matters worse, kind of thing. Like, let the investigation go on, and because things like this could deter the investigation. A post has been shared after Metcalf stating that he died from an MDMA drug. However, police said the information was false. News station confirmed that News station confirmed that the Texas FBI investigation the FBI is investigating who was behind the post that claimed to come from the county medical examiner. Police have said the report had not been released and the post was not legitimate. Regarding the Frisco PD chief imposter post seen on Thursday/Friday last week, I can confirm that we are assisting Frisco PD, but that any further investigation News Nation. So it seemed like the person was not only they were impersonating the PD chief imposter. Okay. Alexander met the Frisco police, according to WFAA, and expressed concern. The meeting went on for 1 hour, and after Alexander told reporters that the police had interviewed more than 75 people so far. They were able to come to me and very sincere about it and be very sincere about it. He said in regard right now, but we just have to see. There's GoFundMe accounts made for both Texas teams. Anthony had a GoFundMe account that raised thousands for his legal defense, but that fundraiser has now been removed. At least two GoFundMes have been started for Anthony, according to the Austin American Statesman. This could be due to GoFundMe's terms of service, which state that the platform cannot be used for the legal defense of financial and violent crimes. There is now a fundraiser for Anthony on Give Send Go that he raised over 275,000. There are also two GoFundMe that have been started for Metcalf. One in memory of Austin Metcalf, he raised over 144,000 as of Wednesday. The second one honoring Austin Metcalf helped his family as of Wednesday. Now let's see if we can go watch this.
Track meet in Texas after police say one athlete allegedly stabbed another during a weather delay. News Nation's Rich McHugh joins us live. So, Rich, what led up to this alleged attack is still unclear.
That's exactly right, Nicole. It's a heartbreaking story. Two teens get into an altercation, and one is now dead. And people are divided whether this is self-defense or for him and his legal defense that has raised over $236,000 in counting. According to police reports, Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony were at a track meet. Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move out from under the team's tent when Anthony grabbed his bag, reached inside, and told Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." The police report states Metcalf grabbed Anthony to tell him to move. Anthony pulled out a knife, stabbed Metcalf once in the chest, and ran. Metcalf died there in his twin brother's arms. His father posting online he was a leader of men, voted team MVP this past season, and carried a 4.0 GPA. I love you forever, son. It's not goodbye, it's see you later. Anthony was arrested and charged.
Come on,
The police quote, "I was protecting myself and he put his hands on me. I told him not to." The report states he asked if what had happened could be considered self-defense, and police fought back against a viral post a conspiracy theory online believed to be from the county medical examiner that said Metcalf died from an MDMA drug overdose and that the stab was a secondary factor. So this is obviously a complicated MDMA drug overdose and that the stab was a secondary factor. So this is obviously a complicated story that we're going to continue to follow. Nicole, we reached out to both
On a tragedy at a high school track meet in Texas after police say one athlete, Rich McHugh, joins us live. So, Rich, what led up to this alleged attack is still unclear.
That's exactly right, Nicole. It's a heartbreaking story. Two teens get into an altercation, and one is now the accused has an online fundraiser for him and his legal defense that has raised over $236,000 in counting. According to police reports, Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony were at a track meet. Metcalf reached inside and told Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." The police report states Metcalf grabbed Anthony to tell him to move. Anthony pulled out a knife there in his twin brother's arms. His father posting online, he was a leader of men, voted team MVP this past season, and carried a 4.0 GPA. I love you forever, son. It's not goodbye, it's see you later. Anthony was arrested and charged with the murder. He told police, quote, "I was protecting myself and he put his hands on me. I told him not to." The report states he asked if what had happened could be a conspiracy theory online believed to be from the county medical examiner that said Metcalf died from an MDMA drug overdose and that the stab was a secondary factor. So this is obviously a complicated story that we're going to continue to follow. Nicole, we reached out to both the Metcalf and the Anthony families and have yet to hear back.
Okay. Looks like we got the most of that video. Okay, let's go on to the next one. And here, let me go ahead and take this one off the screen. Let's share a different screen. So this one states nearly 30 students witnessed fatal stabbing of student at school track meet. Police say. So remember the last one they said they had interviewed over like 75 or something like that. Now they're saying there's 30. But in the redacted names on the police report of witnesses of the fatal stabbing include nearly 30 students from the track meet teams at 5 Texas schools. There are also half dozen coaches listed, while Frisco police continued to investigate what led to the violent attack on 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Mental health experts want to make sure parents of students who witnessed what happened investigate their kids for signs of trauma. There is likelihood that there will be post-traumatic stress. Veronica Sir, who says witnesses should be getting counseling to cope with their feelings so that they know and Please work with me. Like I said, I am in a dungeon, so connection is not the best. So let me see if it allows me to share now. Okay, now it's loading. Okay, share. So these are just some of the pictures. You have Austin right here. This is Austin, and this is Carmelo Anthony. Austin, Carmelo Anthony, obviously. This is Austin's dad. You saw Austin's mom. Where'd she go? She's here. This one's Austin's mom. Okay. So yeah, so this here's a couple of pictures. This is kind of like the pictures of what it looked like during the time. You see how they have the little tents up. It was raining. Because it was just a weather delay. I mean, they were pretty far apart. It doesn't say what school. I haven't been able to confirm what school Carmelo Anthony was coming from. He was. I think they said what shirt he was wearing. I forgot. I had to see it on the. Go back to the Grace. But if you go to Grace's channel, I want to say Saving Grace, but Saving Grace, Nancy Grace. And go to Nancy Grace's channel, and she has a thing, and they have it where I think he was wearing the school a sweater of a school, so that's how he thought he was, and that's how he knew he was in the wrong thing. Now I can't remember the name of that school or what. Um, so I mean, it could have been this one. Like I just don't understand. You know, there's the carp. That's where the body was at, or whatever. So I'm not sure how they got from the tents to over this. That's what I'm saying. This is pretty fresh, and the pictures from the scene just don't. I mean, from what people were saying, everybody was under the tent, and he asked them to leave the area. Now, if they were over here, that's not part of their tent, so it's very hard to. Now I can understand if he was like right here, like in between the two tents, but not underneath a specific one. Ugh, it's just this case is really, really difficult, and yeah, the brother speaks out. If you really sad, um, um, this was such a sad, sad tragedy that should not have happened. Regardless, you're at a track meet. You told him not to do anything to you. That does not make it self defense because they shoved you. Like he didn't have no brought a knife to a fight that there wasn't even a fight. You brought a knife to a non-fight. Like there wasn't supposed to be a fight, but you had a been on you. Where did this weapon come from? Where he had to, because that's all premeditated. Like you took out your knife, you opened it. I'm waiting for all the reports to come out, and that's where I get a lot of the facts from because I rather read the reports and the police reports and by the victim and the suspect's own words and not um and I get it. There were like they said there were witnesses, so every witness probably has you know a pretty much accurate account. You put all those witnesses in at once. They're it's hard. It's really hard, and I feel sad for Carmelo Anthony's family too. Like At the same time, it's like, where did he get the knife from, and how did he have that knife? And he's 17, yeah. I mean, but I mean, was it a gift from you guys? Was it, I would, why would it even happen like that? You're in high school, dude. Like, really, seriously. Like back in the day, the worst problems like we had is if we like that we had to worry about is if we were being liked and if we had a boyfriend and a girlfriend kind of thing. Like, really, you're like now you have a problem for like you stabbed somebody because you were sitting in underneath their tent. Like, I don't understand like the thought process to him. Like, you wow, that just oh, I don't have a life. So it's real crazy, and I feel bad for Austin and his family, especially his brother. This is just a sad tragedy. Like, there had to been something to prevent this from happening. Like, um maybe now they might have to have bag searches before leaving. Their coaches have to search their bags before, getting on the school bus. I mean, you were on school property. You brought a weapon when you're on a school bus, when you're at a school event like athletics, dance, debate, any school function that you ride in a school bus or that you had to have parent permission to go to, like, you're still considered on school property. You still consider that. So you still got to follow the school guidelines. And one of them is like you cannot carry a weapon. So why did this 17-year-old have a weapon? I don't understand. Not only should he like no. Like, no. Like, this was uncalled for. Like, you literally had a weapon on school property. Campus. Like, not even a campus, it was property because that's considered you're at a school, like you're at a meet. Like, that's considered still school property. That's like us going to one of our stadiums here and having a meet, and you're traveling by school bus, you're going to these softball games, to these basketball games, you're going to other kids' school just because you're not going to school. A lot of like the high schools, they have stadium going, you know, when one school played each other, you had seventh grade go one over there, and then that their eighth graders came over here, and that's how y'all played A team, B team, or whatever, and then vice versa. And same thing in high school, if you're varsity, you play at the stadiums. Obviously, you get the big bleachers and the hoorah and the ha-has, and everybody, the JVs and everybody still play at the schools. You travel from school to school and you play there. So in this case, like, you're going to a school stadium to perform school athletics. You're technically considered on school property, which means you shouldn't even have a weapon. So that's kind of where it doesn't matter whether it's self-defense or not. The fact is that you weren't even supposed to have a weapon on you at that time. Now, what happened to the good old days? Like, knuckle up, homie. Like, what? Like, y'all are like nowadays, like, fights. I don't understand why you gotta actually kill somebody and take somebody's life, because that's what his intentions was. He literally told him, touch me and see what happens. So that's basically saying, touch me and I'm gonna kill you. Whether it's a stab, shoot, whatever, he basically, I don't know if Austin threatened him first or what, but that was a threat. That was a threat. So if anything, Austin should have been the one to feel a threat, to feel like he was in a position to where he needed to have self-defense. So yes, he probably shoved him. He probably did whatever, or maybe he didn't think he was gonna do it. Just like I said earlier, the plate's hot, but we still touch it, right? About 98% of the people are gonna touch it if you say the plate's not hot. So if you say touch me and see what happens, any kid is gonna push the limit. Oh, let me test it. Let me test the water. And unfortunately, this water was tainted. This was tainted water he touched. And that's sad. And unfortunately for him being such a bright boy, he really should have just walked away. He should have told um the coach, like, hey coach, this player is underneath our 10. I asked him to move. He didn't want to move. So I mean, there's going to be a lot going on in this trial to where they're going to put the blame on Austin, where he could have done things to prevent it, but at the same time, Austin wasn't the one to bring a weapon to school, to on school property. I'm gonna keep saying school property because technically it's considered school property. So I mean, whatever. Uh, but anywho, like, this is again, my support goes out to the victim's family and of course the suspect's family. No, possibly not the suspect, although that's my opinion. I mean, that's what happens when you're impulsive. That was an impulsive move, and unfortunately, impulsive decisions require consequences. So, unfortunately, if he thinks that he will not do time, he's gonna do time. Now, whether I mean $1 million bond, that's cray cray. Nobody in Texas has $1 million anyway. Why are you gonna put $1 million bond? I don't even think they have $500,000 here. Like, really, I don't think we have any millionaires in Texas. I don't know. I really don't care. But I'm just saying, like, really, you couldn't do like a $500,000 bond to where they needed 50,000. The parents are gonna have to fork up their house, but oh well, that's your kid. You should train them better. But no offense to the, I haven't met the parents. I shouldn't, me and my big mouth. I say some horrible things, but sometimes I mean, and ultimately this does reflect on the parents and not the school because technically, I mean, the school is only there to guide and educate, and but it's the parents that need to teach them the actual right from wrong and morals of and morals and value and of a human life. Like, when you don't teach kids on, like, I it could be the smallest thing that my kids do and I'll be like, I could go to my husband always tells me I'm an extremist. Like, I go to the extreme on some things, like choke. Like, I fear for them laying down when they're chewing. It could be a gummy bear. They're gonna, like, there's a possibility they can choke. So I'm not gonna do it. Like, if you know that they're like value somebody's life, like if they go and so if they so it's just like my kids, I'm like, oh, you push them. I'm like, okay, but it could happen. Like, what if you push them and they fell over a chair and they bumped their head and now they died? You can hurt somebody really bad. You may think it's just a show, but or you punched them in the back, but you did a little too hard, so now they have back problems or something. And they're like, dude, it was just a tap, and I'm like, excuse me, a tap leads to a harder tap, leads to a harder hit, leads to a punch, leads to more violence. Why we even teach our kids violence? Like, just teach them from the beginning. We don't touch nobody. We don't say nothing. We don't whatever. I mean, if the worst you can do is say something mean, yeah, we don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. If you say can't, don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. But I'd rather have you say something mean than put your hands on somebody, risking the fact that you can take somebody's life. You know? So all you're gonna do is hurt their feelings, and then they can go get therapy. Um, but I'm just nowadays, kids nowadays, they're big. Um, too bad I can't really. I mean, to say what I want to say, it's kind of hard. Let me take this down real quick. Um, so yeah, it's just to, but yeah, like I said, you took a weapon. I don't know. I think he knew from the get go when the cops got there. He goes, I don't believe it was intention. Like, he knew he did wrong right away, so he tried to cover up his child. Was it self-defense? He touched me first, and that's what people nowadays and like and kids now. That's what kids. My kids say that to me. I'm like, go ahead. They'll take you away and you never see me again. Like, there are consequences to your actions. Now, do you want to go live with a stranger who might beat you up? Or do you rather just live with mommy who just yells a lot? So, I mean, it can get worse. You think it's gonna be greener on the other side, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So it's like you got to teach like these kids that some of their th- their thoughts can have consequences. So yeah, you can think it, but don't do it. And even at that, don't try to think it because what's the point of thinking it if you can't do it? Like, you're just wasting space up in your brain. Like, save that space for something else. But um and please, if you want to go donate, you can look up I'm pretty sure one of these websites have their donation links. I'm not going to put anything that requires that unless it's like a petition or something. I'm not going to ask for money from anybody unless it goes to Vivid Lifestyles, which is a nonprofit and organization that helps heal the wound of abuse. So definitely want to go there. If you want to donate to help the abuse, please go to my link space. It should be in the description box. Go there and you have all access to all my platforms. You'll be able to find me on YouTube there, Facebook, Streamlabs, and Instagram. There's also a button there for you to donate. Just click on that button. Put donation in the memo box, send the amount, and we are good to go. So that's all linked through PayPal, Cash App. It is going to be the money sign, Vivid Lifestyles. Why isn't it showing? Okay. So it is going to be right there. Cash App is going to be the money sign, Vivid Lifestyles. Just send that through there if you want to instantly. If not, I'm not worried about how long it takes to get into the account. Everybody's like, "Oh, it takes like 3 to 5 days for it to clear," and well, it's obviously got to go through a process, especially if it's a donation. They got to mark it as donation because people write taxes and they got to do taxes and things like that. So I don't know about all these other YouTubers who are crying about their PayPal taking forever to get their money and stuff like that. But as long as it's legit and they're doing what they need to do and making sure it's getting routed to the right place and the right thing in the right way and things like that, then they got to do their taxes too. So we all got to do taxes. We got to try to keep them as clean as possible. I'm just saying. And again, they both families and by the sounds of it, let's pray that the suspect shows a little bit more remorse and a little bit more um, compassion to the victim's family and not just completely disregard, what he did and think it was a self-defense. It's not the normal. It's not cut clear throat self-defense. It wasn't a heat of passion. It wasn't nothing it should be, but it can be more difficult. Like I said, I don't know all the details, but I'll try to keep you updated if I stay updated myself. But things like this usually kind of die down, but the family gets the help that they need and all that stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta go get my kids from the bus stop, and then I will be doing another video tonight. They catch some Florida in Florida. They did catch some people who were in a ring for child PDF. So we are going to probably go over that as well tonight. So again, thank you so much. If you like the video, like, subscribe, share, join, follow, everything, become a member, do what you need to do. hit the link space so you can go and like, subscribe, share, and all of my other platforms. Please, please, please share and spread the word that, all right, guys, crime is not cool. All right. So, again, I am out and pinkies up.